history doesn't repeat, history rhymes, you know, and you get to just see how everything is the same and completely different at the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Welcome to Catch a Vibe. We are out here. What is this, Santa Monica Beach?
This is like Palisades, Santa Monica, Will Rogers.
If you know my page, you know how much I love him as an artist. Levan Kali is with me today.
Thank you, man. Yo.
So the rules, like I told you off camera, put your hand in the bag. It's a mystery beach bag. Whatever you pull out, I have a question that resonates with your past work, some future work, and most importantly, your album that you released this year.
Yeah, man.
So, first and foremost, how you feeling today, though?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling blessed. Look where we are.
I mean, bro.
You know, life is good. Fresh coconut water.
Survived, dog.
It's hard to complain right now.
You survived. This almost feels like a vacation.
Right. Said, you know, it's catch a vibe, so we had to do it.
That's exactly what it is. All right. So we gonna figure this out. You dig into the bag. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. What's the first thing you pull out?
An inhaler.
Inhaler.
Okay.
So we gotta talk about breathe.
Oh my God.
Come on, come on.
Okay. Touche.
Gotta be, to me, one of the most fun songs on the record.
Yeah.
Kind of, what was the studio process like? Also, I just think performing that has to be
so
ecstatic,
fun.
bro.
Actually just performed it for the first time live at the Roxy.
Really?
Yeah, like a few weeks back. We did that with like full band, background singers, everything, and it just, whole record came to life. And, but yeah, I mean, that song is just, for me, like, that's really my favorite type of music to listen to, you know, like the funk, the groove. The way it came about actually was coming back home from my Europe tour last fall.
Okay.
And the second half of my set in Europe was like all my dance records.
Okay.
So I had like, you know, some features I did in the house world, some of my own like up-tempo funk stuff. It would just be like the last like 30 minutes of the show was just like high energy.
Yeah.
And then when we were in, I think the first time it happened was in Belgium. We had like a handful of people in the front row that were just grooving like so hard to the music. Yeah. That I was like, yo, just like come up on stage.
That's fire.
And everybody was dancing, and like it kind of started this like Soul Train kind of vibe. Okay. Like around the band, like everybody's just like dancing? Like touching the guitars and all that.
That's kind of lit.
It was crazy. So when I came back from that, we did it for the rest of the shows, and it just kept on getting like, you know, bigger. The energy kept rising with it. And then I got back and I just felt like I needed another record that was in that vein for the album before I turned it in. And I was really just like in probably the chillest environment. I was like at home, and I had my bass, and I had, you know, just my home studio set up, and I came up with like, you know, 100 different groove ideas, and that one just spoke to me the most, and yeah, that was like really the inspiration, was just to have more of just something to add to that part of the show.
I wanted to ask, because you had Low Tide, you had High Tide, and then there was you had EPs and you had the prelude in between.
Yeah.
But what kind of got you to naming the album LK99?
You know, growing up near the beach and just near the water and having this like relationship with the water, I would name all my previous projects, you know, things about the water. So Low Tide, High Tide, Let It Rain. But LK99 really came about learning about like the significance of the number 9 in numerology. Oh, nice. And what it means for us, like even cosmically, universally, like 9 is the highest digit you can get to before you have to reset or add digits, start at 0. And I felt like I was at this point in my career where, you know, it was like the end of a chapter, the beginning of a new one at the same time, kind of like a birth and a death at the same time. And the more I learned about 9, and just, you know, it's 9 months of pregnancy, 9 planets before they kicked out Pluto, like all that. You know, there's so many things in our lives that just like revolve around this number. And what it signified to me felt like where I was at. And this music kind of is also like this relationship that is like ending and starting at the same time. And it just spoke to me. It felt so right. So that's where LK99, came from. Yeah.
And honestly, that makes a lot of sense through listening to the songs of the album. And also, I like that you touched on love, because love is a huge topic throughout this album.
Oh, yeah.
When you were creating this album, did you already know that love was going to be a huge concept throughout this album? Or did it just kind of happen organically?
I think all of my music has been inspired by love. And like love in different forms. So like definitely the relationship love, romantic love, but there's also like, songs about loving yourself. There's songs about loving your family, your community, loving God. The different forms of love. I think that like soul music is attached to love of some sort,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of the driving force that fuels everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's like the fifth element, that's our superpower is love, I feel like.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, next topic.
Okay, here we go. Sage. Yeah.
So you talked about faith actually just now.
Yeah.
How big of, again, as an artist, there are so many things that is out of your control.
Of course.
And in this creative art, it's oftentimes kind of tough to put so much into projects and put so much energy into music.
Yeah.
And then let it out in the world to be judged. That's such a vulnerable position.
Mm-hmm.
So how has faith played a role in the release of LK99, and also how has faith played a role in your journey in music in general?
Man, faith, I think, is everything.
Yeah.
Your perspective on life becomes your personality. It shapes everything about you. So if you don't have faith and hope and like a desire for like optimism and progress and growth, then I feel like you're just making life harder on yourself.
I agree.
And it's just the foundation of I think just having like a balance in life, because you cannot control everything. You got to be comfortable with the unconditional. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and not knowing what's going to happen. But you keep going because you have faith that things will work out, and things will, even if it doesn't work out in the immediate, that like maybe it's supposed to work out in a different way than you had seen it. So, we see in all the movies and stories, like the people that want to control the outcome the most, they want to control life, live forever, all these things. It never really works out for them. So
at all.
Yeah.
And the way that I think about it is kind of like water. When you keep struggling against water, you don't swim as fast.
Amen.
And also, you just let go of control and you let the water take you, you end up floating.
Yeah.
And it's the least effort and you go the farthest.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really beautiful, what you were just talking about.
That is beautiful. That's a great analogy too.
Next topic.
Okay, here we go. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. There we go. Some headphones. Okay.
The headphones is because listening to your music is almost like an immersive experience to me. And honestly, I've been a fan of you since Smile, since Joy back in the day.
That's love.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I've always just wanted to ask you, like, where did you get your like jazz ear from?
Just from growing up listening to so much different stuff, having like an eclectic array of music just as a kid, and then being in the jazz band in high school. I played drums in the jazz band. And I think just being surrounded by people with taste, putting me on to good stuff, growing up listening to Miles Davis and listening to, everything from like, just like all the R&B from back in the day, like Donny Hathaway and
huge,
just Earth, Wind and Fire and how they infuse jazz, and especially their earlier records where there'd be like an interlude that's just 8 minutes of burning jazz. Like
piggybacking off of that question, I want to talk about Remedy.
Oh yeah.
Remedy to me is honestly one of your most slept on tracks
Thank you.
off of that album. I hear so much Earth, Wind and Fire in your music.
Yeah.
I hear so much Anderson .Paak in your music as well.
Yeah.
What were the influences for Remedy, or what were you listening to around that time when you created that song?
For Remedy, I mean, that's influenced by so many things, honestly. Musically, you know, Sade is a huge influence of mine.
Yeah.
Sting is a big influence. His
Really?
solo work outside of the Police, and the stuff with the Police is amazing. But I feel like Sting and Sade have this like sound that is definitely influenced by, you know, Caribbean music and you know, a lot of like West African sounds and rhythms, and I just wanted to kind of, you know, whatever that made me feel like listening to that music, I wanted to, you know, put that into my own expression.
Yeah.
And that's what Remedy ended up becoming, and just adding instruments that I was never really using on any other songs, like a vibraphone, and just adding things that kind of made it feel a little bit more natural and soulful, and the way that the backgrounds are composed, just to give it this more like healing, wash over you type of vibe.
That's super interesting, because my next question to that is, how do ideas spark for you? Like, is it sitting out in nature? Is it going to a bar with friends? Is it like watching a movie? Is it like listening to like a super inspiring album? Like, how do those creative sparks for songs start with you?
I think that I wish I knew the formula to getting ideas, because it's really something that you have to just be grateful for when you get ideas. You know, music to me is no different than like any creative endeavor. So it's like, if you're, you know, inventing something that's like physical or whatever, you're a painter, wherever that idea is coming from, you just have to honor that.
Yeah.
And definitely you're influenced by the things that you're listening to, the conversations you're having, you know, where your mind, your heart, and your soul is at, is gonna like filter all these influences, right? A lot of ideas in the shower, honestly.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense.
Something about the shower, or just being in water, swimming, whatever, any of that, like hearing, maybe it's because like the sound of water has like the whole range of sound happening at once, so you're able to pick out what you want to hear. And I don't know, I wish I knew the formula, but the ideas kind of come from whatever, and then, you know, I think that honoring the idea is going to just create it. Yeah, it's kind of like waking up from a dream, right? And then the longer you wait to write it down or talk about it, the harder it gets to really like remember the true essence of it, which is crazy, because I think about artists from back in the day that had no voice memo, had no, you know, easy way to just open up the laptop or record something really quick as a rough idea, and how, you know, if you have an idea, it has to stick with you in a real way until you get to the studio, until you get with the band, lay it down. So we definitely have it easier today to honor your ideas. As much as everything has changed, I also feel like nothing has changed. And my job as an artist is to, like we just talked about with ideas, it's like, you know, I have to honor my ideas. I have to filter my ideas through my inspirations. I need to be dedicated to my craft. I want to dedicate my life to my craft. And, you know, figuring out how to honor music and how to be a part of music history and learn from the greats. And that's, I feel like no matter what era you're in, you know, if I'm in the 2020s and I'm trying to honor, you know, the artists from the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, and then those artists were trying to honor the artists from the 70s, and they were trying to honor the Chuck Berry, you know, and it goes back and back. I think we have this like sort of condition as human beings that we always feel like we are at the edge of history, like we're at the end of the story or something. Yeah, when you look back and you're like, oh, things will never be like they were, but then you're gonna feel that way about this era in 10 years. You'll be doing an interview with somebody and they'll be like, man, but when it was 2026, before it was all AI fully, and it was so real and soulful and all this. So I think, you know, your job as an artist, my job as an artist, is just to make art and then and do it to the best of your ability. And then the way people consume it will change with technology, but that's fine, you know? That's fine.
Damn, that's honestly, I never really thought about it that way, but that makes so much sense because, yeah, because they were saying the same thing about music in the 90s. They were saying like they hate how edgy it is and like all of these different, like grunge was coming about at that time and they...
Yeah, drum machines and new
Right.
technology. Oh, it's gonna take away musicians and all that.
Right.
And now you see somebody using a drum machine, you're like, wow, they really got that real gear on stage.
Right.
That's, you know, so it's just, history doesn't repeat, history rhymes, you know, and you get to just see how everything is the same and completely different at the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah.
All right, next topic.
Okay, let's see. I keep seeing this one. I'm just gonna grab it.
It's the football, dog.
Come on.
The reason the football is out here, it's for fun. You have an energy behind your songs. I'm talking about your whole catalog at this point.
Yeah.
You have an energy behind your songs. Let It Rain is another one.
Oh yeah.
Joy is another one.
Oh yeah.
If you could whittle it down to, you have a 3-song set.
Oh man.
And
I've had those before.
yeah, 3-song set. And purely for your enjoyment, what 3 songs are you playing for fun?
I'm definitely doing Breathe. I'm definitely doing Sleepwalking.
Yeah.
The easy answer would be just throw Let It Rain in there.
Yeah.
Because that is very fun to perform that song. But
Are you still? You know what I'm saying? Vibration. Vibration. What?
Can I hear your vibration? Yeah, that one. It's definitely, you know, if I had to pick one song, I'd pick Are You Still?
Yeah.
But the 3-song fun set, yeah, Breathe, Sleepwalking, Are You Still would be crazy.
What came into the vibe switch? I remember the first time that I experienced the song was obviously through Spotify, and then you dropped like a live version of you and like your band performing it.
Yeah.
Changed my whole perspective on the song. I already loved the song, but seeing how much fun you guys were having playing it also just gave me a new appreciation for it.
Yeah.
So can you just give me a little bit of insight on what led to the little vibration part? And then also, how did that song come about?
That song is the product of searching, you know. I was working with my boy Saul who's my dog. I went to high school with him, and we've been working on music together for the longest. And we were just in the studio. This is like fall of 2024.
Okay.
And really just throwing paint at the wall, looking for something that made, you know, us feel like, you know, we were doing something that we had never done before.
Okay.
I think that it's easy to like, you know, get into a groove of like the types of songs that you make or what you think your fans will expect or whatever. And I also feel like the job of the artist is to switch things up and push yourself, so then you end up pushing your fans, you know, everything. So yeah, that was just, you know, I've always loved like songs that have multiple movements in them in different sections. And I want to say that just started off probably with me on the drums. A lot of times I'll be on the drums and I'll like play something and like hum or sing something at the same time. And we probably had that intro and then broke into that halftime, you know, chill, more R&B, soulful section. And then that was just like a very natural, organic experience, man. Like, you know, we had made a ton of ideas, a lot of things you'd be like, oh, that's good, but I don't know if it makes me feel like that feeling of discovery. Like, you know, when you do something or you like make something and you're like, wow, I feel like I just like found something. I didn't like make something that I knew was there already. I felt like I found Are You Still?
Okay.
And it was like, oh my God, like what is this thing? Like let me dust this off and take care of it and see what's, you know, where it's gonna go. And it just turned into this dope, you know, multi-movement song where it was like, who cares about rules, song format, whatever.
I feel it.
Yeah, vibration. Okay,
Let's see what we got.
Let me not peek.
Yeah.
Here we go. Uh-oh. This feels like food. Uh-oh.
It is. The reason I got a snack in here is for comfort food.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask, what are the songs, it can be yours, it can be other artists' songs, that bring you comfort, bring you solace?
That's a really good question, man. I have a playlist that I listen to a lot that has a lot of, they call it like library music. It's like the music that a lot of composers would make for movies in the like 50s and 60s. It was in like the music library. So it's a lot of Italian, like movie score type stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And a lot of those, they like in my, what?
there's an Italian composer that I'm thinking of.
Is it Piero?
Piero, yeah, bro.
There's a couple Pieros. So there's Piero Piccioni. There's Piero Umiliani.
That's the guy I'm thinking of.
That dude, yeah. I mean, that whole like world of music is so dope. And that definitely for me brings like, the playlist is called Garden of Peace. So I just throw that on and I feel like I'm chilling, you know, I'm good.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
When I was doing my research on you, I realized that you were on Flex with Playboi Carti.
Yes.
Bro.
Yes.
OC throwback.
Yes.
Do you remember how that relationship started? Also, did you know that Carti was gonna take off the way that he did after that album?
Man, I mean, at the time it was so crazy and like things were just moving like so fast and so randomly. I was doing a lot of work with Snow Allegra at the time.
Yeah.
And I had made a record with Snow that then like ended up, you know, becoming a Drake record. And then I was, you know, hanging out with, you know, different people in different studios and sessions really because of that. Just like meeting new people all the time. I ended up meeting A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
And I was with A$AP Rocky, Carti was there, and we were all just hanging out. And at one point in the conversation, A$AP was like, yo, and I was like a fan of Carti's already, but he was definitely, you know, not, it wasn't like Vamp era yet, you know?
Yeah. No, this was, early
Broke
Carti.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was early Carti.
That's when I got used to Carti, was like, freaking when he was working with Ethereal, like Beef, you know what I'm saying? Like those.
Yeah, Mexico Drug.
Yeah, the Carti lore.
Yeah, so all that, I mean, I felt like I was like early on Carti. And, you know, my homies were on the Carti and we were just listening to that. So I was in the studio with him and A$AP was like, yeah, he's like, you know, all he has is like turned up records, like, and he's like standing right there, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, you need to link up with him and make something like for the women, man. Like, you need to make something for the women. So we literally just went in the studio that day and just spent the day hanging out and making songs for women. We just made that one record. It worked out and we wrote it together and it was, very seamless, kind of just like listening to some different like beats that were started out and then we added to it and wrote these parts and laid it down. And it was a crazy day, actually. Kendrick walked into the studio while we were working on it. It was insane. Yeah, it was a wild time, but I love that record for sure. It was the only time I've ever been in the booth with the other artists that I'm working with at the same time, like kind of going back and forth. Yeah. I've never done that since, but
that's crazy.
That's how that one happened.
If you had to pick somebody to bounce ideas back and forth in the studio, collab album, what artist would it be?
It'd be ridiculous to be in the studio with Stevie Wonder.
Man.
And I just saw today, he just announced, or maybe it was a couple days ago, but I just saw today, he's putting out another album.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's his first album in like 20-something years.
I wonder what that's going to sound like.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it would be incredible just to like be able to experience in person like the greatest living musician, singer, songwriter, creative.
Yeah.
That's everything. A lot, like ever. You know, as an artist who's also a producer, working with Kevin Parker would be amazing. Tame Impala, you know. That would be so dope.
I could just only imagine what you two would cook up, though.
Man, it would be so fun.
Psychedelic funk.
Yeah. And he has like a crazy range. Have you heard his record with Thundercat?
Yeah.
It's so dope. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a ton, but
Thundercat would be interesting too.
Thundercat would be super interesting. We actually do have a collab. I'm not gonna say the name of the song. You have to find it on the internet.
Okay.
But it's one of the first songs I ever put out on SoundCloud.
Damn.
It's a super, super deep cut.
Okay.
But it was very random how it came about, and he ended up hearing the record through a close friend of mine, and then he wanted to sing on it or play on it. And but yeah, we definitely need to get in the studio. That's the homie. But yeah, Stevie, Kevin Parker would be crazy.
Bro.
Yeah.
I will always be a fan of good music, and it's your job to make the music. It's my job to let people know that it's good and that they need to listen to it.
There we go.
And so we both just doing our jobs.
Yes, sir.
And my last question is,
Okay.
if somebody is new to Levan Kali,
Mm-hmm.
this is their first time watching an interview about you, it's their first time going to listen to your music.
Yeah.
If you had to give them a 5-piece of the catalog that can walk them through at least your journey to this moment in time, what would it be? A little 5-song playlist.
Little 5-song playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would say you definitely have to check out, you know, the beginning of the journey to me is Joy and Smile.
Yeah.
You can go check out Do You Wrong.
Yeah.
That's 3. And then you can see how the progression has taken us to Are You Still?
Nice.
And probably Sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's the 5-piece.
Nice.
Get to know Levan Kali playlist.
Also, my pick, throwing Pieces as well. Pieces is another one. So good.
I mean, if we could do an extra song, maybe throw in Remedy,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, there's so much music. 5 is tough.
5 is tough. But
5
it's
is
also
tough.
like, you know what I'm saying? People's attention span's getting shorter. It's
Yeah.
2026. You got to give them a 5
Yeah.
piece. But anyways,
Exactly.
thank you so much for catching the vibe with me.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Coconuts.
Come on.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
My dog.
Right on.